Hey, how you doing? Um, Holiday greetings. It is December 21st, 22nd, 21st. Anyways, happy Solstice Day. Cheers. You know what that means? In the Northern Hemisphere, tomorrow is a brighter day than today. In the Southern Hemisphere, less so. Okay, we have a challenge because guest dog Paul, who's a very sweet greyhound and is vocal, is not being paid attention to, and he's got a lot to say. Paul, come here. Paul, come here. Yes, yes, buddy boy. Yes, come over here. Come over here. Get in the shot. Okay. Okay, there's Paul. Yes, you're a good dog. You're a good dog. Okay, off you go. Go lay down. Go lay down somewhere. Come on. Come lay down. Okay, back to shooting. The third season cooking, man. Everything happens. Which, by the way, I've been thinking about doing something a little bit different in the new year, and third season living might be the migration from third season cooking. Cover a few more topics. Sometime over this last year, I heard about a dish called Pastelon. Pastelon is a Puerto Rican predominantly, but it could be other Caribbean island dish used for festive occasions, and it's made from fried or mashed plantain. I use mashed plantain because for me, that's easier. A rich meat sauce, which I have over here, and cheese. Now, and eggs, also eggs. What's fun about this dish that I like is you can pre-make the mash, you can pre-make the sauce, and just pull it together really quickly, which is the plan here. So if you've seen plantains in the store, they look a lot like bananas. If you wait long enough, they look like really overripe bananas that are gross. Except that plantains are not. They maintain a lot of their fibrous texture. So they get very sweet, but they're still really firm. Now, what I would normally do with these, and what I do with the mash, is I peel them like this, and then I would boil them for about 10 minutes. And that would make them into a really soft texture that you can easily mash up. Now, I'm not going to do that with this one because I want to shoot this thing in under an hour. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to make this plantain into breakfast. So I'm just going to put that into the fridge and not worry about it because we're going to deal with that tomorrow. Okay, this will go into the composter. So we are left with the mashed plantain. All I did with this is boiled the plantain in water with a little bit of salt, not much. And then when it's finished after about 10 minutes, I just add about 2-3 tablespoons of butter. Follow your heart. More butter is fine. Less butter, heart healthier, whatever. Use more. Just saying. Okay. And then into a casserole dish, I'm just going to spread butter around. And if you want to use something else to spread butter around, by all means, fill your boots. I just go get in there with fingers and get her done because this is the third season cooking kitchen and we don't need to freak out over all the little niceties of things unless you want to. And by all means, if you feel like you want to, go for it. Okay, we start off with a layer of the mashed plantain. And so we just drop that in and we spread it around. It is not important how thick it is, quite honestly. It is important that it covers the whole bottom. That's the way I tend to look at it. So you want it to be about 1/8 of an inch to say 3/8 of an inch, which is like about 1/2 centimeter or a quarter, whatever, 1/3 of a centimeter to about 1/2 centimeter thick, 1/4 to half, whatever. As you can see there, it's a little bit thinnish, but we're just going to plop that in there. And now we have that nice and complete. Now, to add protein to this and texture and hold things together, we add a little bit of egg. So this is just a couple of eggs that I have beaten together. And I'm just going to draw some lines in the plantain. And all this does is create little places for the eggs to find their new home. Okay? Don't have to put a lot in because we're going to use a bit more on the top. So we're just going to spread some in like that. And then, that over there, we're just going to move this around. Now what I like to do here as well, and I'm sure if you are of Puerto Rican heritage or Caribbean heritage and you're looking at this going, Abula would never do it like this. Cool. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she might. Maybe you don't call her Abula. Maybe you call her Nana or Baba or Grandma or Oma. Whatever. Grandmothers are always like really cool about these things. Unless they aren't. Just say. Okay. And then we're going to just put a little bit of cheese just to sort of hold it together. What we're trying to do is create a situation where basically everything glues up. Okay? And I'm just going to dump this all in because this sauce, hearty sauce, made from a pound of ground beef. I used a shallot because it's Christmas time, so we're fancy. And then a can of crushed tomatoes, a little bit of probably about 2 teaspoons of oregano, which is traditional, a teaspoon of basil, which is not, salt and pepper. I also used a bit of smoked paprika. You could use things like achiote powder or paste. That will give it a nice rich flavor. If you look at recipes when they're talking about things that go with this, they talk about more savory items like olives or, oh, Paul, it's okay, olives or a few other spices that I don't have access to. And quite honestly, I don't care about. But if you want to do it the way they do it in Puerto Rico, by all means, Google Pastelon, Pastelone, and you can get it together. They'll probably also tell you that you need to deep fry your plantain. And most of the recipes I've seen are with deep fried plantain. Some of them, however, are using just this mash. I like the mash because it's easy. And I don't have a deep fryer. And I don't like too many fried things if I can help it. And I couldn't really fit it into my air fryer unless I really tried hard. So there it is. Hi, buddy. Paul has settled down right behind me. Paul likes being at center ice. So he likes cooking between me and the stove. Or he likes not cooking. He likes to lay down between me and the stove. So as you can see, all I'm doing here is just spreading out the mash again. And if it was a little bit warmer, it might spread a little bit easier. But it's good enough. And then we're going to... The top layer isn't quite as important to be perfect with because as you're going to see in a couple seconds, what we're going to do again is we're going to add more of the egg mixture. I'm just going to move a little bit over there. And we're going to add more cheese. Lots more cheese. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm just going to use this because it's easier. It's in my hand. And again, what we want to do is tap that down. Just make some cuts across the top, just for a place for the egg to settle in. You don't have to use the egg if you don't want to. I like it because it binds things together. It also adds, whatever eggs add to our food, nutrition, flavoring, a bit of naughtiness. If you wanted to make this without egg, yeah, you do you. It would be fine. This is really one of those things I think that every family probably has a slightly different way of making it, and therefore every family does it right. Okay, so now we have that, And I sip. Good. Tad parched. There we go. Now, this is a mixture of, because it's Christmas time, we're fancy, Bergeron cheese. So Bergeron is a Canadian cheese. You can buy it at Costco in 2 packs on sale quite often. And this is a good way to use it up because it tastes like a very subtle Gouda. So it's kind of a lovely white cheese. And I just mix this with some old cheddar for a bit of tartness tang. Just like that. I've also done it with mozzarella, and it works just fine. I have a block of Parmesan here that I've just pre-grated. So if you want to watch me grate cheese, I can do that, or I can just do this. And that's it. That's ready to go. Now, into a 350 to 400 degree oven, covered. So because of this particular type of pan, I'm just going to put the glass lid on it. If you don't have it, you can just put that with tinfoil. And then what you do is, after about half an hour to 40 minutes in the oven, you take the lid off. And when you take the lid off, you end up with this. Now, kitchen isn't quite finished yet in terms of the restocking of it. So things are still kind of out and about. I'm just going to do this. And we're going to do this. And this is the Pastelon when it comes out of the oven. Okay. Now, what you want to do is let that rest for at least 10 or 15 minutes before you do what I'm going to do, which is try to put it out on a serving plate. Not because, well, yeah, because we're going to eat it. It's Pastelon. Dudes, you have no idea how tasty this is. Maybe you do because you've had it in the family before. But oh my, oh my, oh my, is this tasty. What's really funky or fun, I'm not sure which, about the really ripe plantains, they get really sweet. Okay, so it's a real, as opposed to doing it with potatoes or noodles, like a lasagna, you get this really sweet plantain. And then you get the really savory meat sauce. And it's this great combination flavor of things. And it's like, wow, that's kind of cool. First time I saw this recipe, I thought, that looks neat. And I was trying to find something else to do with plantains. I came back from Costa Rica. I was there for 7 weeks in 2016 and went, wow, this stuff is fantastic. Loved it. And went, okay. So as you can't see until you're not going to be able to show you. Just a little bit of extra. There we go. So there's that. I'm going to put this back on the stove if I can do it without burning my hand or dropping it on the dog. There we go. Paul's such a good boy. He is. And if we were to just cut this open. You can maybe see. You can see how you have the layer of plantain, a little thin layer of meat, and then a little thin layer of plantain again, and then the cheese. So, way too hot to do this. It's way too good not to. So that little bit I scraped out of the bottom, so you can see it gets nice and caramelized around the edges with the butter. And now we go. You gotta take the glasses off so you can see